before he got there. But it's funny because he was also in Nashville, right? Wasn't Laviolette his last team was Nashville?
Had been in Nashville since 2014.
So what did Barry ultimately get from the Islanders? What did he get?
I want to say he got about
$6 million?
No, I don't think it was in the $6 million. I think he got $4 to $4.5 million.
Well, because now they're saying Laviolette gets $4 million a year. So,
yep,
3-year deal, north of $4 million per year. If that's what Trotz got, who would you rather have right now, Cakes?
I mean, of course you'd rather have Trotz. You keep that continuity, but I'm not going to argue with the move of getting Laviolette. I think we've all, critiqued the Capitals for letting Trotz walk, for asking for more money. He felt like he should have been compensated at a higher level after bringing the cup here to Washington. Clearly, the brass in Washington disagreed, and he resigned and wound up in New York. Now this is their best fallback plan, and you have to cross your fingers and hope that it's right.
He's coached a total of 1,200 games, actually 1,210 games in the league, in an 18-year coaching career that's included stints with the Islanders, the Hurricanes, right, where he won a Stanley Cup, the Flyers, and the Predators. He's 637, 425, 25, and 123. I don't know. I guess those are like overtime losses.
Right.
Really
123
weird.
is the points. Hey, let me ask you this. Just on the surface, is this a better hire than when you hired Trotz?
I don't know.
Yes,
because
he
had won a cup before.
At the time, Trotz didn't
have
give it
that
a
resume.
nice check mark.
He's been to 3 cup finals with 3 different teams.
That's
3 different
pretty
teams.
sick.
He's got a better resume than Trotz when Trotz became the coach of the Capitals. And interesting note, it's actually only the second time in his career that Ovi will play for somebody with experience.
Yep.
Right. Jason mentioned that. Yep.
Laviolette, I'm sorry, but Trotz signed a 5-year deal with the Islanders, $4 million per. So
wow,
5
so it's the
for
same
20.
numbers. It's
so
just 3-year deal
salary.
instead of 5. So you're not,
right.
But they couldn't give that to Trotz 2 years ago?
Apparently not.
Is his reputation
now they decide they can.
Is his reputation as a hard ass? Like, what's the deal? Because I would
it looks like a hard ass.
He looks like it.
Reardon, his reputation was kind of nice guy. And who knows whether it's true or not? I remember EB doing the story that the Caps players were, hanging out at the pool, having pool parties
in
kind
the
of
bubble.
taking advantage of the coach. And it just, and then even when you listen to McClellan after the season, he talked about structure and the culture, and it just seemed to be something that was slipping in the 2 years with Reardon.
He may be more stern and more of a taskmaster than Reardon, but not to the level, from what we've heard, of Mike Babcock, another guy who was on, whose name was out there, rumored to possibly be the next head coach here. So I think they don't go to the extremes of Babcock, but they get a tougher guy than Reardon in Laviolette.
Hey, I think it's a good hire. I mean, by the resume, if you want to chime in, 800-636-1067. Good time to hear from Caps fans. 800-636-1067. You can call us on the AAA Always On Call listener line. You knew they just weren't going to go down the route of hiring somebody who was a career assistant.
No, I mean, McClellan made it a point that it's a veteran group. They need a veteran coach. So
you need a vet guiding them. They don't need a guy who's it's his first rodeo. They were like, no, we're not doing that again.
I have to admit, I was kind of rooting for Boudreau to return.
I was not.
A cool story.
Why were you not, Cakes?
Well, because he clearly had issues with Ovi. I don't think Ovi respected Boudreau.
Uh-huh.
I mean, didn't he call him a fat blank at one point that was caught? I mean, I just don't know if that's a good dynamic. I don't know. Look, do you always want to placate to your superstars? Probably not. But sometimes
no.
You
You want Ovi on board.
Yeah.
No, you want Ovi on board.
So
for sure.
I don't think Boudreau version 2.0 was something that was going to fly here in Washington.
Yeah. I don't know. On the face of it, knowing nothing, just simply reading the resume, from a resume standpoint, it looks like a great hire.
Right.
Looks like a home run. I don't know how it's going to play out. I don't know anything about him.
Well, he's got to get the best out of look. Why were they disappointing this year? You can point to the coach for sure. But I thought Verana, we all expected Verana was going to take kind of the next step a couple of years ago, and I felt like Verana was disappointing, and Kuzi. So whoever was going to come in here, and now it's Peter Laviolette, they got to get the most out of Kuzi and Verana, I think, first and foremost.
Right.
Yeah, they probably got to get a little younger too, Cakes, don't you think? And then they got to decide what they're going to do.
Second or third oldest team in the league last year.
Right.
So why was
He
Laviolette?
He definitely looks very intense.
He looks like an intense guy, right? Why was he available? The Preds fired him in January after they got off to a rough start.
Look, he lasted, it looks like, into his 6th season in Nashville. And just look at the common tenure for an NHL head coach. It's like 2 or 3 seasons.
Right.
So he lasted basically double what a coach usually lasts in a spot.
And he had a winning record there. It's 248, 143, and 60.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yeah.
And he led him to President's Trophy in 2017, 2018.
I don't care about President's Trophies. I've seen that a million times here in Washington.
No, but it shows he can win. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's been to 3 finals, Cakes. I mean, it's something. You put it on your resume.
Oh, sure.
I think. Yeah.
If I knew how to put a resume together, I would certainly put that on my resume.
Right.
So is this
I would include it.
So do Caps fans think this is a really good hire? This guy's texting me right now and says it's a horrible hire for the Caps. Why?
Really?
What is his rationale? What's his reason?
He's just texting it on the vibe machine.
He's just probably a dog. Let's be
Who
honest.
did he want? Gallant? Boudreaux, like
Maybe,
I
don't know.
did?
Babcock? I don't know.
Well, this guy, I see a guy here commenting, saying that BMAC has some work to do as well. His recent pickups not panning out. And he points to Gudas, Jensen, those guys who have been benched over the last year or so. So it's not all just coaching. You know, you got to give them the right guys, too. So I'm sure the spotlight will be on everybody. Let's go to Chris in Lorton. Chris, what's up, buddy? 800-636-1067 if you want to chime in. Chris, what do you think?
Boys, what's up? How are you doing today?
Hey, Chris.
Okay.
This fantastic hire, best coach available, obviously. He's been to 3 Cup finals. You know, the thing that Reardon didn't have was he wasn't able to get enough out of his players, at least the role players that Trotz was able to get out of. Good thing about Laviolette is for his first 3 years, usually at places that he goes, he's fantastic. So with an older crew, I'm only looking for the next 3 years at this point. If he can get us back to a Cup final, I'm going to be perfectly happy.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course you will. You get to the Stanley Cup final, yeah, you're thrilled to get back there.
Well, look, in his second year in Carolina, he won a Cup. In his first year in Philly, he got to the Cup finals.
Right.
In his third year in Nashville, got to the Cup finals.
Pretty good track
So
record.
he takes over a team that maybe was struggling before. That's why they got rid of the previous coach, and he gets them to the Cup finals at minimum
Right.
in the first 3 years.
Question is, do they still have enough ability and talent to do that, or are they too old? That right? That's the
Let's
question.
hope that's not the case. Let's hope the old guys can do it.
How does it hit you, Cakes, as the biggest Caps fan here of the guys?
It seems like a solid hire. I mean, the guy's been a head coach since 2001 in the league. I mean, he obviously has staying power. He's taken multiple teams to Cup finals. He's won it once. I mean, he won it with the Carolina Hurricanes when they were that franchise is like 5 minutes old back in 05 and 06. So I think it's a solid hire from the outside looking in.
Great hire on paper, EB. It's
Right.
great hire on paper.
No, I know, but did you have somebody that you didn't want Boudreaux? Is there someone you did
I wasn't
want?
crazy about Babcock either.
Because
his methods
He
are a
rips
little
into
bit
people too
wacky.
much.
I mean, he basically caused one of his players to have a mental breakdown from the abuse, the verbal abuse. I just don't know if that's the style that you want. Plus, he's getting paid, I think, like $8 million a year now by Toronto just to sit at home.
All right,
Why would he upset that gig?
Should we go to Evan in Richmond real quick? He thinks it's a horrible hire.
all right, Evan, what's up, buddy? You're on with the Junks. How are
What's
you,
up,
my
boys?
man? Hey,
Hey,
buddy.
Evan.
What's up? I just texted in and said it was a horrible hire, so I figured I'd call and give some rationale.
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
First of all right, so it might not be a horrible hire, but Laviolette has a reputation of pushing the players really hard. He is a hard butt, like you guys said, or like you kind of speculated. He does, so I'll be happy if we get to a Cup final this year or next year. I don't think he's lasting longer than that. He's really hard on the players, like Babcock kind of. And I think the players eventually just kind of tune him out. And I really wanted to hire Gallant. That guy has been an absolute stud at every stop and seems to get fired or let go for not a very good reason, which is kind of a red flag. But, yeah, I don't know. That's just my 2 cents. I think Laviolette is just not – I don't know. I don't think he's going to mesh well with this team because he's too hard of a coach. But who knows? Maybe the structure will.
They can
But
respond.
maybe
to
that's
that.
what McClellan wanted. Maybe McClellan saw that Reardon wasn't pushing them hard enough, and
Right.
he felt like Laviolette's
That's how it
gonna
always
give that-
goes.
Right.
It always goes that
If
way.
there's a softer
Yo-yos.
guy, you bring the hard guy in.
Yeah, and then
You know?
when he burns out, you bring in somebody who's a little more player friendly.
Right.
And that's just the way it works.
Absolutely.
Was Trotz kind of in between? He didn't
I think
seem
he
like
was
a
a
real hard ass,
disciplinarian.
but he didn't seem like the Babcock type.
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
think
he
he's
was,
pretty
I think
tough.
as a coach, I think he was a no-nonsense guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, they obviously responded well to him.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, coming up next, it is a Pro Football Focus Tuesday. We have the best analysts in the game on the show every Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Next, it's former NFL QB Bruce Gradkowski here on the Junkies.